lots of people have assumptions about drugs but don't really know. It's just what somebody's told them.
Yeah.
And they can sometimes think the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So I always say, educate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know or you're making assumptions, find out.
Yeah.
So is this a way people could find out? What types of drugs are most commonly detected in the workplace, and have you seen any trends or shifts over the years? So what kind of things is taking its place?
There's no hard fast thing. Cannabis is still the most popular one. It has been for some time.
We're
Followed by
back on the air. We're live on Coast Radio, 106.6 FM, live from the heart of Ashington. Coast Radio is radio with a heart, isn't it?
The Incredible People Show.
Yes. So you're with us, Maggie and Polly, and we're interviewing David Bainbridge tonight. And we're here till 10 o'clock. We've had a lovely conversation, and we've got lots more questions. So David Bainbridge set up first cohort in 2017.
Yes.
To really look at drug testing within the workplace, but this is about the health part of health and safety, and about really supporting people to be well for work when substance misuse might be an issue.
Yeah.
Support teams, support individuals and teams and companies really.
Yes,
do the work you do.
That's the aim.
When you started talking tonight, you told us a wee story. You took us on a journey. It was a rear view mirror, and we were like, this, where you started. And I loved how you talked about, being at school and maybe not doing so well, and then going back, and then developing yourself, and then being really open to just experiencing different jobs and building your skill set and your competency, and it's all taken you to this point. And when I was listening, I was thinking, wow, you're a lifelong learner. Yeah, and I can tell because I know that you're about to launch a podcast, and you've got a book, and you love learning, and you want to share everything you know to help other people. So I love that. And you reminded me of two things that I think are really important for all of us, is that we're all a work in progress. Who you are now isn't the finished product. It's who you are right now, and we can all have more, be more, do more. So that's what you reminded me. And also that, just, it was inspiring to me to think that, you've always been open to just thinking, what's next, what else can I do? And I wanted to say that out loud, because maybe people are listening and thinking, maybe they don't believe enough that it's possible just to develop and learn through your life, and to never give up, never to think, oh, well, I'm too old, or I'm too this, or I'm not clever
I've learned
enough.
it all now.
Yeah, because there's always more to learn. So that was the first thing I wanted to say. And the second thing, when I was listening to you talk, I thought, it's like health and safety with a heart. It's, drug testing with a heart, because the stories you told tell me you just really care about the people that are being tested, and when a positive result comes along, or a not negative result comes along, you're interested in how can we turn this around and help that person, because nobody makes that choice to be in that pain point, in that situation. So I love that what you're doing is about how can we help. So it's, look for us locally, it's just where might this help you? What do you need to know? What do you need to ask? If you want to text, it's 07858 429 316, and you can call 01670 432 107. Back in the room.
Yes.
And we have had another
more
question
questions
for you as well, which is amazing.
Great.
I love it. Keep the questions coming. So this one is, what types of drugs are most commonly detected in the workplace, and have you seen any trends or shifts over the years?
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do I have to give another 5 points off for that one?
No, I'm loving it.
Trends in drugs, yes, they do. They go up and down. Some become fashionable, some fall out of fashion. Some depends on supply. I mean, we go global here. You look at the war in Afghanistan with the Taliban and all that. A lot of the poppy fields where they used to process heroin, they've all been destroyed. So that has actually reduced heroin consumption. So people haven't switched on to other things.
I was going to say, so what's something will take its place? So what kind of things is taking its place?
There's no hard fast thing. Cannabis is still the most popular one. It has been for some time, followed by cocaine. But it depends on a lot of things. It depends on the demographics of the people who's using them. It depends on the demographics of where people live, ages and all that. But the most popular ones is cannabis and cocaine. So yes.
Amazing. I've got another question. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So Kumar, the golden brown Geordie.
He's amazing.
Golden brown.
He is
Yes, I like some.
one of my most favourite humans in the whole wide world. I hope you listen. I hope you heard that.
See, it's not just me that thinks
We
it, Kumar.
love you, Kumar. Thank you for this question. So, a devil's advocate question.
Ooh.
Don't apologise, Kumar. What percentage of organisations, in your experience, just don't want to know and would rather maybe just not take a chance on someone, therefore they might not be prepared to try support or help an employee with a substance misuse or a personal problem? In other words, they'd rather maybe just get rid of the problem and recruit another person.
I can't give you a percentage. I can say it's lots,
Yeah.
but I can also say that it is starting to change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you spotting? What are you noticing?
People are starting to listen.
Mm-hmm.
People are starting to say, wait, there's a different thing to do. Actually, in America, what I'm doing now, I didn't actually plan this out, but I was talking to somebody and says, that's very similar to what they're doing in America. I was like, really? So I only found out about it a
So
couple
America
of
are
days ago.
copying you?
Yeah.
The USA?
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch them.
Yeah, it could be a claim going in there. No, I don't know what the full ins and outs of it. I haven't looked at it in any depth yet, but it seems to be a very popular approach from America where it is hugs instead of drugs.
Yeah.
And they are supporting people with addictions instead of just.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of big cases in America around the pharmaceutical industries at the minute, the oxycodone and everybody getting sued and all sorts.
Yes.
But it is starting to change over here. Actually, my book is the first thing that I say about that.
Tell me more.
Yes, I have a book. Can you believe it? I'm an author.
I know.
How good is that?
Do you know what I really like is the front cover of it as well.
Yeah.
Maggie, can you describe it? Because for people that are listening in tonight, you can't see what we can see, and it's beautiful. Can you describe the
So
front
it's a
cover?
side profile of a face,
Mhm.
and it has got like a big cannabis leaf on it as well. So you can tell straight away, you know, that it's about drugs, as well as it's saying about substance misuse on it as well. But you look at the cover, it's one of these you just think, I want to pick that up and know more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And tell me what it's called.
Substance Misuse, a drug-free workplace handbook. It's actually designed to help people
I was
in
going
the
to say who
workplace.
designed the cover because that's a really clever design.
Me.
Ah,
Yes.
fantastic.
Well, you can tell it.
Please ask that
5 points
question
to
then.
Gryffindor,
Yes.
a gold star and a
I'm
blue
definitely-
Peter badge and a chocolate biscuit.
Awesome.
Because it's all in there, isn't it? You know, and it's the closer you look, the more you see.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
It's also the thumbnail and the cover and
Mhm.
the design for the podcast as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Frankie Drugs podcast.
So I want to know about the podcast, but first of all, tell me about the book. What, like, when did you decide this had to happen, and you know, what would people find if they picked up that book? What would it?
It was something that was on the back of my mind for a while, and over Christmas I thought, you know what, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. What's the worst that could happen? Nobody buys it, and I've actually sold 2, so yes.
Yay.
Yeah. Buy them, please, buy.
So where
Where from?
I've gone to that.
Okay.
I decided about Christmas time what to do about it. So, over the Christmas and New Year when it's quiet, I just sat down and I just jotted some ideas down. I thought, yeah, I've actually got something there. And the whole thing is designed to help businesses who may be doing substance misuse or looking to do it, to implement it. It's chapter by chapter. It's different bits covered in it, and after the end of every chapter, there's a bit where you can put notes down. So if there's any ideas
Lovely.
you've got, you can put it down with that as well. I've self-published it. It's on Amazon.
I think it's brilliant because I think lots of people have assumptions about drugs but don't really know. It's just what somebody's told them.
Yeah.
And they can sometimes think the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So I always say, educate yourself.
Mhm.
If you don't know or you're making assumptions, find out.
Yeah.
So is this a way people could find out?
You can do. Yeah. I mean, going back to the question, was it Kumar you said?
Yeah, Kumar.
And you're saying about people being devil's advocate with it.
Yeah.
First bit of that book, it's some of the reactions I've had about
Yeah.
it. People saying,
So it's almost like the myths people have.
Yeah.
I think you have to dispel myths.
yeah,
Because we all think things that we are one way of looking at things, or it might not be a fact, it might just be a feeling or a message or a story we've heard.
Yeah.
We've got to dispel those myths, don't we?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
understand
definitely.
more and be able just to see things from a different perspective.
open your minds, open your ears, and listen.
Yeah.
And don't judge. Just try and listen to people's stories with it.
Our phone was buzzing frantically, so
It's
I need to...
amazing. I know
I
the
know, we've
messages
got
just keep
this,
coming
yeah.
in.
I'll I can't quite source the message, so I'll just keep looking. See if it's come from somewhere else.
But yeah, the book's something that's really, really good. If somebody does health and safety, do HR in a business, buy by all means, purchase it, have a look. If you've got any questions, reach out. I'm always open for a conversation to help people with it. So,
fantastic.
Here's another question. Does your testing cover pharmaceutical drugs as well as recreational drugs? What percentage is pharmaceutical?
That's a good question as well.
Yes, thank you so much for the question.
The tests themselves, right? So
and that was from Rach. Thank you.
the whole process that I adopt, there is a part in it where I ask if anybody is currently on any medications, painkillers, anything like that.
Yeah.
At that point, they get the chance to say, yes, I'm on this, and I jot it all down. Now, I've been doing this nearly a decade now, so I've got a fair idea of what triggers various things. So if I see something that's going to be triggered, there's a chance this is going to fail this test, but if it does, don't worry, we can do something else about it. If I do the test and it does trigger it and it says there's something in the system, I'll do another test with them, but this test goes to a lab.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's like the bulletproof test I do. It says exactly what it is in somebody's system. Some people have fallen foul when they've done the test and someone says, "Oh, you failed, that's it."
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they're not on cannabis. They've been taking ibuprofen.
Yeah.
That has happened to us in the past.
Of course.
Yeah, so it does pick up pharmaceutical drugs, but I have to do further tests to actually confirm that it is. Because I have had people turn around and say, "Oh, well, I'm on this," because they know what drips in. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good to know, isn't it? There perhaps are tests out there that might just give a blanket response, but your methodology is about understanding really the whole person.
Yeah.
It's holistic. It's like, what are you taking, what for, and to fully understand what results mean.
Yeah.
But then the part that follows on from that is, how can we support you?
Yeah.
How can we support you? And that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because what a lovely thing, I discovered this a long time ago in my NHS work, was that, and I think the culture in this country or in the West has been a lot of kind of drugs are a problem we don't want to have. We don't want this is wrong, like good, bad, right, wrong, and judgment. And there are other countries that have had much more forward thinking approaches where for years and years the way of treating or supporting people has been let's talk what happened, like what's happened to you.
Yeah.
And I think we're only just catching up with the fact that is a really, really great approach, because the first thing that happens is people lose connectivity when there's a drug problem.
Yeah.
And that's when things spiral, I'm assuming, and you'll know.
Portugal are absolutely phenomenal for this country, Portugal. They looked at this some years ago and they went, what we're doing now isn't working, so let's stop paying to fight drugs and let's start using the money to help people instead. I'm paraphrasing, so I believe they dropped all classifications for their drugs, and what they've done is they've spent it into helping people, because they say that if somebody has got a purpose, it stops them using as much. And there was a story I got told where there was somebody who was addicted to heroin, and he got some help to get off it. But instead of leaving it like that, they says, right, you used to be a mechanic. They found a garage for him, and they says the person who owned the garage, we have somebody here who's a mechanic. If you employ him for 6 months, we'll pay the wages.
That's amazing.
Kept him clean, kept the job and everything, and they took him on.
Yeah,
so,
that's fantastic.
That's really great.
Where does alcohol sit within this? Is it just kind of,
It's very popular.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's, so is it the same kind of testing if people, might be under the influence of alcohol at work? Is that something that you...
Yes. I actually do breathalyzers.
Yeah.
The old tea spinners, kicking them on.
Yeah.
Keep going. Okay, stop. The support process is the same with it.
Yeah.
It's just...
Because it just
best way to
seems,
think is it's a
that's a
drug.
lot more acceptable, isn't it? If people's been away weekends or had a big night out and they go to work next day, it's the same kind of consequences if they're still under the influence, isn't it?
It's legal.
Yeah.
So it's nothing for it. In that case, it's just a bit of awareness that you've got work tomorrow. Be a bit careful with it. And you actually buy home test kits.
Yeah.
Well, in Scotland, the laws changed quite a few years ago about what you're allowed to your legal limits in driving, and I don't think people
no
would
tolerance,
just drive.
is there?
People you wouldn't consider if you were driving.
No tolerance.
And also people buying breathalyzers. So it's the morning after, isn't it? Getting caught out the morning after. So people breathalyze themselves. It's just now like the done thing.
Yeah, it's one of the things I say to businesses who actually ship stuff up to Scotland, and I'll breathalyse them, and I'm like, well, you may be legal here, but It's not in Scotland.
No, it's not.
So
Yeah.
it's not going out today.
Yeah. So, you know, the other thing that we talked about off air, so all the good conversations happen in the kitchen, was about the work that you want to do in the future, where people that you've helped will kind of go on to become peer supporters, and they'll be, you know, work potentially, you know, collaborating and work alongside you as, you know, speaking and inspiring and sharing their recovery stories, and that, you know, that's a really powerful thing too.
So I'm currently looking for some people to come forward who we can support, who may have addiction issues, where we can support them with the what we do, and we want to document it so we can actually say this is how it works,
This is a positive,
and this is what I can do for you, and this is what I can do for your business. So yeah, if there's anybody out there who is struggling like that, get in contact with me. I can't do it for everybody, unfortunately, time scales, costs and things like that. But we will be able to help some
It's
people.
a lovely model.
Yeah. And just to document it and just say to people, this is how it works.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really good what we're doing.
Fantastic.
And it's ongoing all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like we finish your training, you finish your support, that's it, you're done. No, it goes on all the time for however long you need it.
Yeah.
Tell us about your podcast.
That's exciting, yes. It's just none of my idea. I thought, let's start a podcast. You know, as you do. Let's get popular.
As you do.
So I fell down the podcast rabbit hole. So that's called Frankly Drugs. I'm looking to, I've recorded the first one, but I need to edit and all that. I'm looking to get that out in the next couple of weeks.
Wonderful.
Watch this space.
Yes,
Yeah.
and yes, that is going to be a very open door to talk all things substance misuse, drugs, alcohol. If people's got questions, by all means, fire them my way. If you've got your own opinions, bring it over. You know, I want everything on there.
Excellent.
I want to raise the conversation. So some people out there, you know, they might like using drugs. That's their choice. Bring it forward, gives you a point of view.
Let's
Do
talk
you know
about
what I
it.
mean? Yes. Some
That's
people
fantastic.
there, you know.
So, Frankly Drugs, where can we find you? When your podcast launches, where will you be?
I'm going to be putting it all over, so I think it's going to be on iTunes, and
YouTube?
yes, because I want to be filming it for YouTube as well. So I'll be putting it all over my social medias and
So
website
we'll share
and
a
all
link.
that.
We can
Yes.
happily share a link
Yeah.
on
So
our
as soon as it's
Incredible
up and
People
running,
page.
I will be. Then I'll be singing from the
Amazing.
rooftops. And
Brilliant.
yes.
One of the things I've really noticed just from our chat tonight is that you are someone who, when you get a good idea and you're excited about it, because you know you're excited about a lot of stuff, you just
You
do
just
it.
go for it.
Yeah.
You
I want
just
to see the
make
good
it.
ideas.
Just make it. Although the ideas you shared with
Yeah.
me tonight sound incredible. Like,
it's one of
you
those
know,
ones where
great.
you go, why did I start this? But, you know, so,
But you do
yeah.
it, and it strikes me that, you know, you want to leave the world better. You want to sprinkle something fantastic on everything that you touch, and for the good, the greater good. So, how do you want to leave the world better?
The whole model and the whole ethos around the business, right, is to actually change how substance misuse testing and support is done on a worldwide basis.
Yeah.
And that thought terrifies me. That's how I know it's equipment. That's what I want to be in a position to do. So when I'm no longer here, you know, and I'm wherever, my children look around and go, my dad done that.
Yeah, it's your
Do you
legacy.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Your legacy.
And I just want to help as many people as I can with it.
what
People,
a legacy
businesses.
to have. Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Kind of
so
do.
absolutely. What else did I want to ask you? If you got like a favourite, like a quote or, you know, a message that someone's shared with you from the past or present that's inspired you, what's your inspiration, like personally,
For the business,
Just
or just
for
for
you,
life.
for life?
Life in
I
general.
pick it up all over me. Do you know that? I just hear somebody say something, I go, I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I want to borrow that one. So I think for me, it's just try to have a positive attitude. When life gets you down, have a really positive attitude.
Yeah.
Because the dark times don't last. You know, you
Yeah.
get through it and you get through the other side. So
I was reminded recently, and it's a total plagiarism of a quote from someone else. It's not mine. I think we're always swiping stuff, aren't we, from other people? And I'm like, I usually try and swipe with integrity and actually name that person, but I can't
I
remember.
can never remember the
Never
names.
remember. Tough times don't last, tough people do.
Yeah.
It's probably somebody really famous that said that, but it stuck with me because it's so true.
yeah,
It's so true, isn't it? Like, people go through tough stuff, but it doesn't last forever. But you do if you stay in that messy middle and work on it. So it's great that there's people like you helping people with a messy middle.
well, there's a quote. Demi Lovato said it when she was going through her issues, where she says, "What was it? I only started recovering when I realised I was worthy of it.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I was like, I like that one. So yeah.
And I guess, you know, that must be part of what comes into things for the people you're helping is that self-worth, and like we are not taught self-compassion and empathy. Like we're not taught to do that for ourselves. We know to do it for other people, but we don't always sit in our own square squad doing it.
Don't
So that's the first bit, isn't it? Is like being just really kind to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we need to do that more. More love,
yes.
more love for ourselves and good people in the world doing great work. Just, you are an incredible person, David Bainbridge, and that is why we are delighted to say thank you so much for coming on there.
Thank you for having us.
Have you enjoyed
it? It's been great.
I've got to say, you have been the most chilled person that's come in. You know, when you came in really chilled, most people were like, oh, I'm a bit nervous. You were just like, yeah, I'm here, let's do this, which is amazing.
No, that's fantastic. We've really enjoyed it. We hope you've enjoyed it too. But we're here for till 10 o'clock. You might have more questions that we can reply to. Ask us what you want to. Ask for the music. Get in touch. Communicate. We're here for you.
I've got one more, but we'll do that in the next bit.
Yes. Okay.